Now, Haaland, Salah and Son are all viable captaincy options in Game Week 8, but which one is best? Starting off with Heung-min Son, he's obviously got a great fixture versus Luton, and I'd definitely say it's the best of the three. You know, Salah's got Brighton, Haaland's got Arsenal away. Son, Luton, really good fixture. He could well be playing the number 9 position again, likely going to take the penalties, and of course Tottenham are in really good form and looking really good from an attacking perspective. He is carrying an injury though. We saw at the end of the Liverpool game when he got subbed off, he was getting some treatment on the bench. Now, Postecoglou has confirmed he's okay to play, although I think this injury is going to be managed and he could likely play reduced minutes basically. I don't see him playing 90. The Solomon injury as well. They did play Richarlison, Son and Kulusevski as the three, with Son through the middle against Liverpool. However, there is a chance he could play on the left in my opinion. As we all know, there's the famous quote by Mahatma Gandhi, never back the early kickoff. And of course Son plays Luton in the early kickoff on Saturday. Salah then, now he only played 45 minutes in the Europa League, which makes me think he's definitely going to play this weekend and probably the full 90 minutes as well. Liverpool are in really good form at the moment. They're the second best team in the league for expected goals. Brighton, not so good. Well, defensively at least. They've not kept a clean sheet all season and Estupiñán is obviously injured. So that means Lamptey could well be the Brighton left back that Salah goes up against. I think that's a bit of a mismatch, to be honest. Brighton in general though, in terms of the cons, are pretty unpredictable. Like, they could just randomly show up and beat Liverpool this weekend. I wouldn't put it past them. And Salah's not the best penalty taker. Yes, he is taking the penalties for Liverpool and I think he's going to remain on them, but he's missed quite a few despite even scoring some rebounds. So, you know, there is a chance that he takes that penalty, and across the three he's probably the worst penalty taker in my opinion. He could well get you some minus points for missing it. Across the season though, his stats are absolutely fantastic. 0.99 expected returns per 90. That means, you know, if he plays 90 minutes against Brighton, he's pretty much expected to get an attacking return. Finally, Erling Haaland, I was clutching at straws really looking at the cons for him. In terms of the pros, he's likely to obviously play 90 minutes. He can score when he's not even involved in the game pretty much, which I expect that to happen for large portions of the Arsenal game. I think most of the game is going to be played in the midfield. Calvin Phillips, obviously from City, being a bit weaker, which means I think City are going to have a tough time of it. But as for Haaland, he only needs a sniff to score. We all know he takes the penalties for Man City and the guy is a robot, right? In any game he could score against any opposition. He's sort of out of form. Now, out of form for his standards, out of form for another player, probably not. But he's gone a few games now without scoring a goal, which is unusual for him. Arsenal away, well, if you look at how they did last season, that's probably the toughest fixture Man City could possibly play. And I know Pep Guardiola's been playing down the kind of size of the fixture in the press conferences this week, which, you know, kind of says the attitude that Man City have towards the game. I'd also say across the stats, he tends to perform less well against the top teams away from home. Obviously, Arsenal are a top team, and it's away from home. 7 games played this season, 8 goals and 1 assist, 1.18 expected returns per 90. So comparing the player stats, he has the best underlying numbers of them all. Son actually coming in 3rd place in terms of those. In fact, if you look at Son, he's massively overperforming his expected goals data. Salah, consistent returns across the season, as we know, a mixture of goals and assists. Haaland, the most returns of them all, but they're obviously weighted towards the goals, and his expected returns per 90 are higher than the other two. The final thing I wanted to show just quickly was the Draft Hound expected points algorithm. It currently has Haaland top of the list. Arsenal away, obviously a really tough fixture. However, he is still backed to get the most points. 7.4 expected points. Son is on 6.7 and Salah is on 6.6. In fact, interestingly, Maddison is in the argument for Draft Hound as well. Yeah, I can see that myself as well. Personally, I don't think I'd be captaining Maddison just because I think Son is going to be the one getting on the end of chances for Spurs rather than it being Maddison. So I think Son makes sense to be the Spurs option. Then obviously Haaland and Salah the other two. Right, that's the end of the video. I'm not going to come to a conclusion myself. I'm going to allow you to look at these stats and then draw your own conclusions from it. And of course, let me know in the comments who you're going to pick as your captain this game week. If you enjoyed the video and found it useful, please leave me a like rating and subscribe to the Goal and Goal channel just here. And I'll catch you on the deadline stream, 8:30 tomorrow morning.